Jay, looking at Josh Archibald's out here, says he's excited to get back in. Can you talk about what you see from his game and what you're hoping he can bring to your lineup?
Yeah, I see a feisty type of guy, someone who gets in on the forecheck, finishes his check, detailed checker, working back to his own zone, and somebody who is a good penalty killer. So I think he'll come into the lineup and give us a burst of energy.
Based on your morning skate lines, you had Fogle switching down to play with McLeod and Cass, and what's the reason for that switch from your perspective?
Just our staff decision that we think that might be the best way for us to line up tonight.
Jay, just is there something that maybe you didn't see from Shore and Brassard that you thought Archibald would be the best option, or just you thought Archibald would be the best option today?
No, I think all of the available forwards to us all bring different ingredients. And I think when you're looking to insert people into the lineup, that's a big part of it, is just the types of ingredients that different players bring. We know that we're going to, over the course of a playoffs, you're going to use a lot of bodies. We're confident in everybody that's at our disposal. For tonight, we're excited to have Archie jump into our lineup.
Now, if he comes out tonight, has a great game, is he available for you to go to Los Angeles, or is that a bridge across?
Yeah, no, he's an available player for us going forward.
So when did that change exactly?
Well, it's my understanding that a cardiologist, his cardiologist, was able to get a medical exemption for him based on his history of myocarditis.
He's not a player that's been available for you on the road, sort of had spot duty for him here and there. How much does it change that dynamic given his penalty killing prowess and the element that he brings? It feels like this is a fairly significant break for your team potentially in the middle of a playoff.
Yeah, we're excited because he brings everything you just mentioned there, and he's an available player to us home or road, and that's a good sign for our team. So as a coaching staff, he's a real good option for us.
Your team's been really good on home ice, haven't lost back-to-back since in the time that you've been here. What do you sense from them in terms of shaking off the other night and maybe not listening to the noise or the pressure, or what did you sense?
Well, I think what we've tried to do over the last 2.5 months here was be consistent in our process, and by being consistent in our process, we've seen consistent progress. And so after game one, we talked a lot about just getting better a little bit each day as we move through this series. We had a good day yesterday. I think the mindset is a good one for our team right now.
So, Jay, you never know what to expect from a young player, especially going into a playoff series. So what is it about Kyler Yamamoto's makeup that kind of sees him rise to the occasion and, be this tenacious guy?
Well, I would start out with, you don't play in the National Hockey League at his size unless you have a giant heart. So he's got a strong willingness to play the game hard, to go to hard areas, and he's had success. I've had the good fortune of coaching him in the American League and in the National Hockey League. He's somebody who comes to the rink every day with a purpose. He's excited about playing in the National Hockey League and demonstrating his skill set. And I think he's a very, very good complementary piece in our top couple lines there. He helps people. He helps do work for people. And as a result, he's a popular line mate.
It has to be contagious when you see an undersized, and even Archibald too in that category, where you see these smaller guys running around. If you're 6'1", 210, how do you not do it?
Yeah, I think we talk a lot about being physical on offense. I saw in the second period last game, if I can recollect it, I saw Kyler go into a 50-50 puck battle with a much larger human being he was going against, and he not only won the puck, but he stiffened that player up with a good body check. And I do think that's contagious, that type of mindset.
Jay, you've liked 11-7. What did you not see in the first game then to go back to 4 forward lines?
Well, I think, as we've talked about all along, going 11-7 is that we want to have the ability to do both, remain flexible. I think it makes us a difficult team to prepare for when we have the ability to do both. For me, I think heading into game number one, we wanted to make sure that Darnell was fully healthy, could get through the game, and he did a good job of doing that. And so, as I said, we're comfortable with either alignment. We've had success both ways.
And in Mike Smith's case, one mistake, so obviously he's your guy in goal. You're not hanging anything on a goaltender, coming back with him in this game.
To me, we're looking forward to game number 2 here tonight.
What do you want to see from the start of the game? It looked like your team got too ramped up with the fans last game. You want to take the emotion and I guess ramp it down in terms of just play your game as opposed to feeding off the crowd.
For sure. I think we want to start the game better than we did last game in game number 1. It's a focal point for us.
I know coaches love talking about matchups on a game day. When the other coach is willing to put his guys out there as much as he was with Kopitar, you look at his ice time and such, does it sort of change things for you a little bit? You just maybe got to roll through things a bit?
No, I think we have a lot of really good hockey players at our disposal. I think for us, when it comes to matchups, as I said to you before, we feel comfortable with our people, and we're going to put the people we want on the ice at certain times, but we feel comfortable that we're 4 lines deep, 6 defensemen deep, and they can go against anybody. We have a real strong sense of belief in our players to get the job done, no matter who's on the ice.
Yet another Yamamoto question for you.
Sure.
Like you said, you've coached him for a long time, coached him in the AHL. Where's the biggest area of growth that you've seen in his game?
Consistency. Yeah, consistency. I think in his first, Bob Stauffer might be the guy to ask on this, but in his first 40 or so games, I don't know this for sure, but in his first 40 or so games, I think he had 1 NHL goal. And then he came down to Bakersfield a couple years ago to start the 2019-20 season, and he spent a good 3 months there and built some offensive confidence in his game, a little bit of consistency in his game, and then he came up and gave the big team a jolt in the second half of the season, and we didn't ever see him back in Bakersfield after that. But I think just as young players navigate their way through the National Hockey League, that's what they learn to do, and that's what separates the best players in the world from everybody else, is that they have a level of consistency, a measure of consistency to their game, and we're starting to see that more and more with Yamo. 1 in 26, there you go.
Jay, what are you expecting or looking from Darnell Nurse in game 2 versus game 1 when he'd missed a few coming back from his injury?
Yeah, just get a little bit better each day, just like the rest of our players. I thought Doc was a factor on our penalty kill. It was a factor on the Kopitar line not scoring a goal. Kopitar was on a mixed line there with Kempe and Lemieux there, but I thought, they did a good job against that line, him and Cece, and, for him to miss a full week in a regular season at that time of year and then to step back in, he acquitted himself well, and we're looking forward to him taking a step just like the rest of our team. With
60, would you hope or expect to elevate his minutes a little more tonight?
Well, we'll see how it plays out. Just like with our forward matchups, we're flexible. We have a lot of really good options back there. Good, thanks guys.